It is Tuesday night, and we are live for the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. Tonight is round number 3, the Canadian Legend Cars West 125 from the Langley Speedway. I'm Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth. And Bill, once again, huge field of cars. Looks like 42 drivers going to be going for just 28 spots in tonight's feature event. It is we're hearing from the drivers, it is going to be tough to qualify directly into this race and get your way in.
Sorry, Jeff, I didn't hear anything you said. I'm jamming to our opening music. I'm sorry, no kidding.
No.
No, it is going to be tough to get into this race. I mean, so many cars here. We have so much support in this series that, I mean, we just talked to Tony Quadros. It makes it part of the fun. You know, it's fun to have to qualify into these races, and it really puts pressure on you, gets you amped up a little bit. These guys are going to have to do it again, and we're about to go. I mean, we're close to going qualifying, about a minute away. And like I said, man, they're all going to have adrenaline through the roof, because if you miss the corner, you're racing. You don't race in the A main. You're going to start in the back of the B or something like that. It's so hard to get in the A main.
Yeah, the difference is just a couple tenths from first to last. And your drivers like Bladen Edwards, who are running 15.4 in practice. He's top of the board in practice. One little slip up, you miss a tenth, and you're out of the top 20 that locked themselves directly into the A main, and you end up in a B main. It is that tight that you just have to go out and run your qualifying lap and be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he said it. I just got to get a good lap in qualifying, and that's what you got to do. You got to run a good lap in qualifying. You got to be towards the top of the board. That gives you a good starting spot for the A main, but more importantly, it locks you into the A main. It's going to be taking 20 cars out of tonight's qualifying session straight into the A main, and that's what these guys are shooting for, man. I love it. I wish, honestly, on Monday nights I could not compete with those guys. I'm not sure I could compete with these guys, but it would make it fun just to have to try to qualify in.
Yeah, absolutely. No slouches in this series. Top of the board right now, Bladen Edwards, former champion of this series, regular on Monday nights. Braxton DeWeese with us. Ricky Howell sits third on the board. Josh Kosick, who you saw on Monday night in the top 5. Blake Thronberg running 5th in practice, but practice is over now. It is Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes qualifying. $5 and 5 bonus points on the line to quit time. Top 5 will receive bonus points, which end up being a big deal in the point standings and helping you make your way into the top 8 to be in that chase for the championship.
And Jeff, while we go into qualifying, we got a super cloud that just came over.
Yeah, that's going to grip the track up a little bit, isn't it?
Darken the racetrack.
And I think we're going to see a lot of drivers want to wait here because they're going to see the track temps start to drop, and that means more grip on the racetrack. Some drivers that are in a rhythm are just going to go straight on the racetrack. You're seeing Jason Warren do just that. He's going to get out there while he's still hot and get on the racetrack, but I think we're going to see a lot wait till the very last second here as temperatures might drop on the racetrack.
Yeah, we don't give them much time to qualify, just 3 minutes, so they don't have a ton of time to wait, so hopefully everybody gets about the same shot. Of course, lap times only take about 15.5 seconds to get around here, and they have to do about 3 of them. So you got about, what would you say, Jeff? About a minute before you need, about a minute left before you need to go?
Well, Bladen Edwards, top of the board, faster than he was in practice all day long, 15.403. He laid down a flyer. Blake Thronberg goes P2 faster than he did in practice, 15.409. Jason Warren sits third. Hunter Harriet, last week's winner, 4th on the board. Brad Carpenter, 5th on the board.
Tony Quadros is out on the track. Reagan Parent's out on the track. Lee Norton out there as well.
I tell you what, Brad Carpenter going to like that lap. He's been in the B main a lot this season, and I think he's going to put himself directly into the A main. He is getting bumped out of the top 5 at this point, but Reagan Parent, he goes P5, Chad Miller P6, but Carpenter, I think, is going to like that lap.
Scott Negus out on the racetrack. Michael Kirchner, he's about to take his qualifying lap in the Dale Earnhardt Jr. look-alike, number 156. Ricky Howell about to take his lap as well.
Josh Kosick, P2 on the board, 15.406, goes P2. Bumps Thronberg back to 3rd place. Braxton DeWeese 4th.
You're looking for your favorite driver in the top 20. That is a lock-in spot. We're watching Ricky Howell on the right racetrack right now. Caleb Hill out here as well.
Scott Negus on the bubble. And JJ Chansky up to 6 on the board.
Good lap.
That's going to bump
JJ.
Negus out. That puts JP Bergeron on the bubble.
Here comes Caleb Hill around for his qualifying effort. Will he slot into the top 20? No. P36 for the 01 car.
Reagan Parent in the chat said he did not choke like last night, and it looks like Reagan's going to put himself into the show, sitting 5th. Last car in, JP Bergeron, your points leader, barely squeaks into the field without going through the B main, and that is right, the B main, Bill. We're going to start 21 cars in the B main.
One B main tonight, so we didn't have a large enough field to split the B mains.
And this is a big B main, but with that, 8 cars going to transfer on from this B main. On the pole in the 39 machine, it's Scott Negus. On the outside of him, making his debut in this series this season, the 2 car of Todd Cousins.
Rick Rube will roll off P3. That's ravishing Rick Rube, P3 in the 81 car. AJ Rogers rolls off P4 in the 17.
Starting 5th in the 78, it's Cody Boehm. On the outside of him, in the LFOD Motorsports number 12, it's Tony Quadros.
Starting 7th in the number 01 machine, that's Caleb W. Hill, and to his outside in the number 56, that's Matthew Logan.
Starting 9th in the number 17 car, it's Mr. Thunderstruck himself, Josh Oswald. On the outside of him in the number 19, it's Cade Green.
William Griffith will roll off P11 in the number 12, and to his outside in the number 5 is Mr. Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes himself, it's John Piette.
In the Wadsworth Motor Cars number 3, it's David Hill starting 13th. On the outside of him in the 14th position, it's the 10 of Shannon Wilder.
Zachary Anthony will roll off P15 in the number 89 car, and to his outside of the number 98, flip the numbers, it's Sam Westeen.
Starting 17th will be Michael Kirchner in the 156. On the outside of him in the number 11, it's Cody Verrill.
Josh Vanger will roll off P19 in the number 83 car, and to his outside, it looks like the last starter on the racetrack is going to be the 04 of Jared Campbell. Justin T. Miller did not make a call for the B main, so looks like he will not try to qualify in tonight's A main event.
20 cars, 8 moving on, 20 laps for this B main, and Bill, there's a lot of cars. This looks like an A main event out there right now. And shout out to Zach Onan in the chat, wants to know what's up. And we are going racing this time by Scott Negus, going to take us green flag racing for the B main.
Battle for 4th position. Here comes 78 of Cody Boehm. He's to the inside of AJ Rogers. They're going to battle for, actually, it'll be, what, 8 cars? We go yellow early, Jeff.
Gosh, and John Piette is around, Cade Green around. Looked like a kind of a big incident there. And I think the 5 of Piette got into the back of the 19 car, and Cade Green went around. It looked like David Hill involved, Sam Weststein involved.
We can figure out what happened to those drivers. Here we go, a little replay on the back straightaway. You're going to see Cade Green drop to the bottom, and Piette just slung it in there. Cade Green backed her up pretty hard to get in that corner there. You can see the 19. He was falling in behind the 12, and John just came in, and Cade just backed her up hard there, Jeff, to try to get to the bottom.
All right, Bill. So we did have a start issue there. Todd Cousins did beat the 39 of Scott Negus to the line. He was actually clear of him at the start-finish line. And so he's going to go back to the 2nd spot because he did jump that restart or that start. So he's going to restart 2nd here with Scott Negus as your race leader.
Fair enough. Hey Jeff, did you notice we pulled out the pace car for this race?
Yeah, I see that.
I mothballed it.
Yeah, there we go. We got the truck out. We don't see the truck very often. It's usually that new car.
Well, the car, it tends to do laps faster than the race cars sometimes, so I decided to run the truck instead. Not only that, but we hadn't driven it probably since we were on dirt, but pace truck is off.
Here we go. Single file restart because they did not complete a lap. So that let Scott Negus get away there. The two with Todd Cousins had a little slow getting up to speed, and that kind of held everybody up as they get too wide through 1 and 2. Is
look
like
in 2.
home.
Shannon Wilder, he got sideways. It looks like he saved it.
But the caution did wave. Looks like he got some help from the 89. That's Zach Anthony.
These guys don't want to race, Jeff.
Or they want to race too much. That might be the issue.
Too much racing. Oh, 89. C-car don't hit car, my friend. Just gets in the corner and, well. And unfortunately, 156 of Michael Kirchner. He gets caught up in that as well.
And all these cautions, they're bad news for the guys that are starting on the back of this B main because we do have a strict time limit. It is just 12 minutes, and they have eaten up a lot of time here under caution early on. We've only completed 2 laps, and right now these guys in the back of the field are not getting an opportunity to pass cars.
They will run out of time quickly here, Jeff. This is the same length race, 12 minutes, that we normally give these guys in a B main. Unfortunately, we were, 1 car short of splitting the B mains?
Yeah, we just need one more car in the field that would have split the B mains. Would have been a little bit cleaner of a race, I think, with the split B mains, but we got what we got, right?
I mean, we don't set the rule. Yes, we do, but we can't stop it. We can't change it. And once the B mains, are set to just run one, there's nothing we can do about it.
So here we go. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Scott Negus again on the loud pedal as we go back green flag racing. Single file restart once again. Todd Cousins back in second. Rick Rube runs third. AJ Rogers fourth. And looking back to the transfer position, it's Matthew Logan in the 56 machine, but he is going to be under attack from Josh Oswald in the 17.
Matthew Logan there. Sorry, Jeff. Matthew Logan there in the 56 is showing him on the screen in the Ghost car. He is your last transfer spot. You see Josh Oswald there in the 17. That's your pressure position. He's got to make a move on the 56 to get into tonight's A-main.
David Hill is on the move right behind them. He just got around William Griffith, and he moves up into the 10th spot now. So David Hill trying to get there in that Wadsworth motor car is number 3.
And all these guys need to remember they do score points in the B-main.
And we do have that B-main championship as well.
That's right, B-main championship. And so you score points in the B-main, so it's not the worst thing in the world to run the B-main. It's like you finished 1 spot less than last, 1 spot lower than last in the A-main event, no matter where you finish in the B-main.
Yeah, everybody that's here is going to get points, which some of the guys are going to be very grateful for. Like last night, a couple guys on the points standings running up in the top 3 in the standings didn't make the race, so they at least get 29th place points, and that helps them out in the point standings, even though they're going to take a big hit. Top 6 cars really spread out. Nobody's really getting too racy. The battle is going to be on right here back in the 8th spot as Josh Oswald is trying to get to the 56 of Matthew Logan, trying to mount a run and get himself into the A-main.
John Piet just made a move around Jarrett Campbell, move Piet back to the 16th position. He had that issue earlier where he spun, running out of time in the number 5.
This race has gotten very friendly at the front. These guys are not trying to challenge each other. They are feeling comfortable in the top 8. But the guy on the charge right now is Josh Oswald, and he is closing in on the 56. He took a dive to the inside on turn 3. Couldn't make it work, though.
You see Logan starting to feel the pressure, and the 56 car is keeping that 56 as low as he possibly can. Doesn't want to give Oswald the bottom.
Oswald going to run a little bit higher on entry, try to get a run off the corner. Can't quite do it. But that 17 machine, he's starting to vary his lines a bit, trying to find a way around the 56 of Matthew Logan. We're 13 laps into this right now. Matthew Logan holds onto that 8th and final transfer spot. Out front, it's all Scott Negus, and he has opened up his lead about half a second over Todd Cousins. So nothing going on out front. It's all Scott Negus leading Todd Cousins, Rick Rube, AJ Rogers, Cody Bohm, Tony Quadros, and Caleb W. Hill. The battle is still on for 8th spot, the 8th and final transfer position.
That's the best battle on the racetrack. We saw off of turn 2 about a lap ago. Josh Oswald got really loose, but now Matthew Logan just opened the door just a little bit through 1 and 2. Only 5 laps remaining in this event, 5.5. Logan does not want to get up off the bottom. That'll give Oswald the opportunity he needs. We saw last night, if you end up on the top, you go backwards. The 56 needs to pin the left side tires of that yellow line and just stay there. And caution.
And that is not what Matthew Logan wanted to see.
That is disaster for the 56 car because he will be starting 8th on the field. That is not a good place.
It was the 156 of Michael Kirchner that went around on the front straightaway. It looked like it might have been a self-spin there.
See if we can figure out what happened here. Jeff, do you have to sing? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm not going to sing, but you feel free.
I thought we talked about this. You said if somebody goes around by themselves, I'm going to sing.
I don't remember saying that.
So that is an all by myself moment by Michael Kirchner. We just watched that off of turn number 4.
This is going to set up a battle for that 8th and final transfer spot because Matthew Logan now has to restart on the outside line, and that is going to be music to Josh Oswald's ears. As we are going to get pace car lights out, and they should be doubling them up now. Take that back. Looks like we're going to get a single file restart.
So odd. We've seen this every single week where the B mains just are unpredictable how iRacing tells these guys to restart. And again, this week we're seeing a single file restart at the end of the B main, and that is exactly what Matthew Logan was looking for.
Yeah, but a huge break for Matthew Logan as the pace car is going to go off the racetrack. Scott Niga is going to take us green flag racing once again. Again, everybody in the top 5-6 cars has been real calm, real patient. Nobody's looking to make any moves here. It is going to be a battle for that 8th spot, though.
We're going to watch that 8th spot battle. We saw Josh Oswald. If you looked at the top right of your screen, you can see he was on the apron trying to find a way around the 56 car. Can't do it right now. Every time he gets on the gas, Jeff, that 17 car steps out on him just a little bit as he's right to the back bumper through 1 and 2. Thinking about a bump, he gives it to him, and he spins the 56 car off of turn 2.
And that is not going to be good for either of them as Matthew Logan goes around, but the 17 got into the back of him, turns him around, and that usually means you're going to the back of the field. So Josh Oswald,
that was not good.
Josh Oswald going to go to the rear of the field. That puts David Hill into the 8th and final transfer spot.
That's why you race right there. I mean, you just never know. Just the slightest of touches, but we saw it last night, Jeff. These cars are pretty loose. Right at that point.
Yeah, right in the center of the corner. This car is rotating really well thanks to that Daniel Pope built setup. But that also means you get hit right in the center of the corner when that car is rotating, and it's going to be quick to go around. So we're going to try to get him a quick yellow here, and pace car lights are out. It's going to be a single file restart once again as we are over the time limit. Scott Negus, Todd Cousins, Rick Rube, AJ Rogers, Cody Bohm, Tony Quadros, Caleb W. Hill, and now David Hill, the top 8 runners. 8 cars moving on from this B main to tonight's Canadian Legend Cars West 125. And it is going to be a battle for that 8th spot because we still got some runners behind him. William Griffin and Cody Verrill behind David Hill. We'll be looking for a shot at the A main. And green flag is out for Scott Negus. Todd Cousins in the second spot. Cody Bohm got a shot from Tony Quadros as David Hill is also under fire for the 8th and final transfer spot, and they're going to see the green and white. So here comes the checkered flag for Scott Negus. He's moving on to the A main at the start-finish line. It's going to be David Hill for the 8th and final transfer spot.
William Griffith took a shot there in the last corner in the 12 car, tried to get underneath David Hill, couldn't do it. So David Hill transfers into tonight's A main event. That was your B main tonight, only one.
Well, that was a pretty thrilling B main there, and good green flag runs for 20-something cars on the racetrack for a B main. That was a little bit better than I expected.
I mean, yes, you're right, Jeff. I concur. That was a pretty good B main. I mean, not too rough. I mean, a couple yellows there. Last night we saw 9 yellows for 44 laps over the course of the 125 lap main event. We'll see how we do tonight. I think the B mains were pretty rough last night too, Jeff. So.
Yeah, the B-mains
these guys about to put on a show. We've seen the Challenger Series do that before. When the late model shootout series doesn't look quite as good, the Challenger Series comes out and looks fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely both series have so much talent that it's possible for either one of them to have long green flag runs, and we've seen it this season. We've had a few really long green flag runs in this series, and looking back at like Richmond, where Reagan Parent almost lapped the entire field. I mean, we went green a long time there.
Yeah, that was a really fun green flag run there at the beginning of that race to start off our season. Jeff, looking at the chat, your dad's in there saying, "Hey, I want to send stars. What's up?" Well, Jeff, unfortunately, or Mr. Should I call him Mr. By or should I call him Jeff? I don't know.
Either or.
But the problem is when you don't broadcast on Facebook often enough, they drop you from what would be considered partner status. And because we took such a long time off, we have not attained that yet. I guess re-attained it. We used to be that when we were broadcasting very often, and now we're not there. So hopefully we'll be back by the end of the season, but right now, not so much.
He also said $5 if you sing. So
gonna have to raise the price of poker on that one.
Well, final warm-ups underway for the drivers that qualified directly into tonight's feature event. They got 2 minutes here on the racetrack to get their rhythm back and get ready for the A main, and it is about time to start grading for the Canadian Legend Cars West 125. And we didn't get a chance to talk about Canadian Legend Cars West last night, but if you are a Legends car racer in North America and you need parts, you need expertise, whatever you might need, those guys, the Canadian Legend Cars West, they're pretty darn fast. So I'd definitely check them out. Parker Traves and his boss just came back from Nashville, and they had a pretty good run down there in both the semi-pro and the Masters class. So if you need help with your Legends car, you need parts, give them a shout out on Facebook, Canadian Legend Cars West, and they ship worldwide.
And I'd like to be a Legends car racer, so if anybody'd like to help me with that as well.
Wouldn't we all? Well, Bill, it is time to start gridding up here for tonight's Canadian Legend Cars West, and we did have an invert. So your quick qualifier, Bladen Edwards, is going to go all the way back to row number 4 tonight. Big invert. And that's going to put Chad Miller in the number 46 machine on the front row. Alongside him in the number 2 car, it's JJ Chansey.
Starting third in the number 17 machine, it is Reagan Parent, and to his outside, a new look for him this week, it's Braxton DeWeese.
Starting third tonight in the 22 machine, it's Blake Thronberg. On the outside of him in the number 2, it's Josh Kosick.
Jeff talked about it. Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes Quick Time Award winner and former Late Model Challenger Series champion Bladen Edwards going to start 7th, and to his outside in the number 20, it's Ricky Howell Jr.
Starting 9th, making his season debut in the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger, it's the 45 of Jason Warren. On the outside of him, last week's winner, the number 81, it's Hunter Harriet.
Starting in the 11th position in the 09, it's the Joker, Elliot Carlson, and to his outside in the number 22, but it's actually 22 on the race car. That's Kieran Church.
Starting 13th tonight in the number 31, it's Brad Carpenter. On the outside of him, and the number 71, it's Uncle Pete, Peter Fisher.
Travis Roma rolls off 15th in the number 38 car, and to his outside of the number 16, it's Bryce Fauntleroy.
Josh Cole will start 17th in car number 43. On the outside of him in the 85 machine, it's Lee Norton.
Bryson Brinkley rolls off P19 and that white number 24, and to his outside in the number 18, it's JP Bergeron.
Starting 21st, your B main winner, the 39 of Scott Negus. On the outside of him in the number 2 car, it's Todd Cousins.
Ravishing Rick Rude rolls off P23 in the number 81, and to his outside in the number 17, it's AJ Rogers.
Cody Boehm was scheduled to start 25th, not making the call. So starting 26th will be the 12 of Tony Quadros.
Caleb Hill slops up to that 25th starting spot in the number 01, and to his outside, starting shotgun. Actually, just call him starting shotgun on the field. It's the number 3 car, David Hill.
28 cars strong. It looks like Cody Boehm's working on getting back into the field. A little issue right before the start. Same thing that happened to Alex McCollum last night. And Alex came from a pit road start to charge to the field, finish second. So it is not over for Cody Boehm. Just got to get back on the racetrack, and he will be good to go.
Crazy that happened twice in 2 nights, right? We hadn't seen that happen all season with guys getting dropped out, but 2 cars having what we consider mechanical difficulties here in the sim racing world.
Yeah, go ahead, just drop to the...
Chad Miller's going to start him off, letting the 46 car going to lead us down into turn number 1. DJ Chansey's going to fall in line right behind him. Reagan Parent as well. He's going to fall in line in third. First battle on the racetrack. Braxton Louise on the outside of, looks like Josh, actually make that Josh Kosick in the 22 car.
So things fast and furious right now as the 46 jumps out to a nice, comfortable lead over Josh Kosick.
That's actually JJ Chansey. Sorry about that.
So many number 2 cars in the field right here.
And then Thronberg changed his look this week. He's in a different looking car.
So Reagan Parent runs third in front of Josh Kosick. Blake Thronberg there in the 5th spot, and things getting single file very quickly. Everybody trying to get to the bottom. First battle on the racetracks back to about Josh Cole in the 17th position as he battles with the 22, and that is Kieran Church on the outside.
Yeah, Kieran Church still stuck on the outside in that 22 machine. Bryce Fauntleroy there in the 16 as well. They're both stuck on the outside, and we saw it last night. If you're stuck on the outside, you're going backwards. Now another battle on the racetrack. That's going to be for the 11th position. Brad Carpenter got underneath Elliot Carlson. Here comes Uncle Pete, Peter Fisher. We got one in the infield.
That's Cody Boehm. He remember, he was starting from pit road. The leaders were coming as he was on just getting onto the racetrack, and he made a dive to the infield to get out of their way. So he did the right thing as we got a pass for second. Reagan Parent going to go around the 2 of JJ Chansey. He brings Kosick with him. So move Reagan up to second, Kosick up to third.
Good racing throughout the field right now, as we saw real quickly before we had that pass for second. Elliot Carlson's still under fire. He's still stuck on the outside. Here's Bryce Fauntleroy. He's finally found his way to the bottom. He's going to go by Elliot Carlson. So Elliot Carlson fell all the way back. He started right outside the top 10 at 11th. Now he's running 18th.
Chad Miller still trying to open up that lead. It's about half a second, but Reagan Parent cut some down that time. But Kosick going to dive underneath Parent. He's going to take second place from Parent.
Josh Kosick up in the number 2, into the number 2 spot. Reagan Parent running third. And you got a train of race cars right behind him. That's being pulled by JJ Chansey. That is Blake Thronberg in that number 22. We used to have that gold number. It's a little bit different this week. That's an EPI car, Jeff.
I tell you what, Bill, right off the bat, I feel like the pace is a little bit faster than it was on Monday night. These guys are trying to get to the front quickly as Ricky Howell goes around Jason Warren. He's going to bring along the 81 of Hunter Harriet. So move Ricky Howell up to the 8th spot. Jason Warren going to fall all the way back to 10th.
Let's take a look at Brad Carpenter. He leads the second train around. That's him in the 31. Peter Fisher there in the 71. Travis Roma in the 38.
JJ Chansey up the racetrack. He's going to lose multiple spots. And now Braxton DeWeese has gone by Bladen Edwards. Here comes Ricky Howell. Here comes Hunter Harriet. JJ going to fall all to the end of the line. And it looked like trouble for Ricky Howell.
Harriet got into the rear end.
Yeah, Hunter Harriet's going to slip by.
Hunter Harriet got into the back of the 20 car, got him loose through turns 3 and 4. Let's see if Howell repays the favor down here in turns 3 and 4. This time, no, not going to get to the back bumper, so Hunter Harriet moves up to the 7th spot.
Got a battle for the 4th spot with Blake Thronberg leading Braxton DeWeese. DeWeese keeps diving to the apron, trying to get underneath that 22, shuffle him up to the outside line. Just can't quite make it stick down there.
fast and furious right now, working lap 13 already. Here comes Bladen Edwards up the inside. Braxton DeWeese got high on the racetrack. Edwards dove to the bottom through turns 1 and 2. He'll make the pass. DeWeese able to slot back in line.
Hunter Harriet's there as well. He's going to take a look here as the 8 machine's trying to get back in his rhythm after getting passed, and Hunter Harriet ready to jump all over him.
Travis Roma almost got passed by Jean-Philippe Bergeron, but Bergeron wasn't able to make the move. Josh Cole right behind him in the 43 car. Actually make that the 943 in your program.
Out front, it is all Chad Miller. He's got the 2 of Josh Kosick in tow. It's about 0.3 of a second. Then about a 1 second gap to Reagan Parent. He seems to have settled into a pace there in the 3rd position. Blake Thronberg runs 4th. Bladen Edwards in 5th. And now a battle for the 6th spot with Braxton DeWeese and Hunter Harriet. Harriet trying to move forward in the 81.
We were watching a battle as Peter Fisher was getting passed a little farther back. And now contact. Braxton DeWeese goes around. There was contact with Ricky Howell as they came off of turn number 4. DeWeese going to have damage on that car. Ricky Howell gets his car back around. DeWeese still sitting backwards on the racetrack. These guys have done a great job, Jeff. Went 18 laps without a yellow flag and we get our first.
Yeah, first caution. That was a battle for 6th place. Braxton DeWeese just got passed, was running 6th, and Ricky Howell, he was trying to follow through. I think, who was it? That was 5th. Bladen Edwards had just passed Braxton.
Hunter Harriet.
Hunter Harriet, yeah.
By. And this one looks like the 8 car might squeeze a little bit. The 20's got his tires on the apron, or at least on the white and yellow line there on the bottom, and Braxton DeWeese just comes down on the top of the right front of the 20 car, and they both go around. That was the 2 of JJ Chansey that kind of made contact there, and then Ricky Howell, not happy, just drives over the nose of Braxton DeWeese as he gets going. We'll take a look at that from the Stinger Motorsports chopper cam because everybody wants to. You can see
Stinger Motorsports chopper cam bringing us the images there.
And you can
see
I
agree with your assessment there. It looks like Braxton was trying to get back to the bottom, and the 20 just happened to be there. So I believe Cody Boehm going to pick up a lucky dog here, and he'll be back on the lead lap. Remember, he had that issue where he basically missed the started from pit road. So Cody Boehm back on the lead lap. 28 cars still in this race. And I tell you what, even though we just had that incident with the 8 in the 5, both of those cars look pretty clean still. So I don't think too much damage to either one of them.
So you're saying they got away lucky?
Yeah, they did. I mean, considering where they were sitting on the racetrack too, I mean, they were in a bad spot, and everybody managed to avoid them. So heads up driving for everybody in the field.
So Chad Miller was having fun out there, Jeff. He's led every single lap so far.
Looking at the
46 car. What a cool looking race car that is.
It is a really cool. He's always had like some of the best cars.
Stuff.
Yeah, and he raced with us a couple of seasons ago. He had this like fluorescent yellow car that I'm gonna love. So Chad Miller always bringing the A game on the paint schemes. Shout out to our Facebook chat that's going crazy. Jeff cheering for Rick Rube, and then Frank in the house, Mr. Steiner Motorsports himself. He said send in the chopper, but it looks like he's cheering for AJ Rogers tonight. As Bill, we are double filed up, headed for the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone. Chad Miller going to have control of this restart. Josh Kosick on the outside, and you can see Miller making him wait there as Kosick got out on him a little bit, but he's definitely going to have the advantage at the start-finish line.
Battle's going to be on for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's a bunch of cars here under a blanket. Now Reagan Parent going to clear this group. Now Bladen Edwards to the bottom. He's looking underneath Hunter Harriet. That's a battle for 5th.
Yeah, Hunter Harriet winner last week, trying to repeat, but he has got a car full of Bladen Edwards there as the caution going to wave. A big wreck in turn 2. Peter Fisher involved, Scott Negus involved. And it looks like Lee Norton got turned around as well. Lee was in the 16th position.
Well, we got some lawn mowing going on.
Yeah, I think it started with the 71. And Pete was running 13th, and so he was up there in the field, and that one all got together.
Let's take a look and see what happened. There's Peter down to turn number 1. Oh, and I think Bryce Fauntleroy missed the corner.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Bryce maybe got a little freaked out by the 20, Ricky Howell, who was going down to the apron there.
Yeah, he saw him dive. Yeah, that's
exactly. Bryce was watching Ricky, not watching the 71, and he moved up the racetrack right into the path of Peter Fisher.
Eyes forward, young man. Eyes forward.
Yeah, it's tough to do. You see a car making the dive down there, but you got to remember it's up to him to keep it pinned to the apron if he gets down there, and you definitely got to make sure you don't go up the racetrack and hit anybody else.
I don't know how many cars got caught in this one. Fauntleroy got some damage. Negus went around. Quadros was involved. Brinkley got through. Lee Norton stuck up high. Kieran Church had to stop. A lot of cars involved.
Yeah, and I don't think it was as bad as it originally looked. So I don't think anybody really made any serious contact.
Just more of a parking lot.
Yeah, just a lot of cars dipping and diving and going through the grass to avoid everything. So I think it actually went fairly well for all the cars that were involved. I see Lee Norton, Peter Fisher come down pit road, do a little damage repair.
Just not much time here, and as many cars as we have on the racetrack, they take a long time, to get around. They take up a lot of space. All the cars spaced out. So while you're going around trying to get stuff repaired, you can only sit there for about 5 seconds, and you got to go.
Yeah, not a lot of time there. Corey Bigley in the house. He is cheering for the Revelry Racing and SPM drivers. And Bill, I'll let you name all those off because there's a lot of them in this field.
You think I know that?
Well, I would hope that you know the Revelry drivers.
Let's see.
This is the team you founded.
Jean-Philippe Bergeron's in the field. He's running 9th. Let's see. Rick Rubin 15th. Elliot Carlson 16th. I think and Peter Fisher running 26th. I think that's everybody.
Well, that covers the Revelry Racing cars. There's
that's
a
all
few
I know.
more of those.
That's
cars.
my Revelry Racing is my team, and that's yes.
Well, Pace Car is about ready to head off the racetrack, so Chad Miller going to take us to the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone, the 46 and the 2 of Josh Kosick on the outside. Remember, Chad Miller has control of this start. He's going to go a little bit earlier this time, catches Kosick off guard, and that's going to allow Kosick to get down right in front of Reagan Parent. So the battle is on for third with Parent and the 22 of Blake Thronberg. Hunter Harry got off the racetrack. He's going to lose a few spots back here in about 6th, 7th position.
Yeah, Hunter Harriet got a bump through turns 1 and 2. Here comes JP Bergeron to the inside of the 18 car. In the 45, looking on Jason Warren first week with the series. He's there as well in that pink number 45. Now a battle. Your leader lost the lead. Chad Miller's lost the lead. Josh Kosick went by in the 2. Now Miller's stuck on the outside. He's in a battle for 4th.
So Kosick, your new leader, as he leads lap 33. Reagan Parent goes up to 2nd. Thronberg is 3rd, but he is under fire from Bladen Edwards now. The 72 machine trying to get there. He's going to get to the inside of Thronberg. Chad Miller's still under attack from JJ Chansey right behind this battle.
Great battling in your top 5. Chad Miller, he's in the sucker hole right now as he cannot find his way down. He had an opportunity just a minute ago, but wasn't able to get down. Here comes JJ Chansey in the 2. Here comes JP Bergeron in the 18. Saw Bergeron run really good at North Wilkesboro. I believe he finished 2nd there, Jeff. He's on the move right now in that 18 car.
And JP Bergeron started 20th tonight. 35 laps in, he's already up into the 6th spot. Early contender for the Adobe Mountain Speedway Hard Charger Award, which is worth $5 at every single race this season. And JP has been flying through the field early as he gets around JJ Chansey now for 5th.
Not familiar with JP Bergeron. He runs up in Canada. Runs in the Pinty's NASCAR series. So this guy is a wheelman in real life as well. So you're watching him fly around right now in the 18 car. Like you said, Jeff,
2nd.
He's in 5th, and now battle for 2nd is Bladen Edwards and Reagan Parent battle. I think they're teammates, Jeff. Is that a teammate battle?
I actually don't think they are.
They just acted like it because nobody wants to pass anybody.
Well, this is bizarre. Reagan let Bladen go on the outside. Now Bladen slows up. He's going to let the 17 go back by. Not sure if this is tire strategy or if these two are just kind of playing games right here.
That was one of the oddest things I've seen in a while. Blake Thronberg on the outside, he's looking to make moves. If those guys keep playing games, he's going to drive around him in the 22.
And Josh Kosick is gone. He is 1.5 seconds ahead of this battle for second, which is now bringing along Blake Thronberg and JP Bergeron. Chad Miller finally got to the inside. He is running 6th now, and now he's going to try to get back into the top 5 as Thronberg's kind of hung up on the outside.
I don't know, Jeff. It looks weird, but they're putting on a show. Here comes Chad Miller. Chad Miller's starting to rally in the 46 machines. He's made his way back to 6th. Now he's looking for 5th as Blake Thronberg caught on the outside in that 22 car. Ricky Howell there in the 20. He's going to look to come through as well as Chad Miller makes that pass with Chad Miller back to the top 5.
This is great racing right here in the top 10 as Josh Kosick is checked out on the rest of the field, but Ricky Howell going to go around Thronberg. Thronberg going to try to get down in front of Jason Warren, and he will do it this time. So Thronberg, who was running 3rd on the restart, now we got trouble in front of them as they stacked up. Looked like Reagan Parent had some issues with the 18 of JP Bergeron. They might get together in turn 1. Can Reagan save it?
Reagan Parent, I mean, kind of caused his own issues there. He stopped on the racetrack to let Bladen Edwards go. That gave JP Bergeron the opportunity to make the pass, and Reagan Parent tried to shut the door on him. That gamesmanship that was going on between Bladen Edwards and Reagan Parent continued, and it kind of caught the cars out behind them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there, but the 17 definitely did not want to pick up the pace, and he had slowed down. JP jumped to the outside and then kind of crossed him over down the front straightaway.
See, we're gonna pick this up, Jeff, where that all started to begin, or began, I guess. Started to begin, yeah, that's a little redundant, but yeah, where it all began is there in turns 1 and 2. Here's where Reagan Parent just kind of backs it up, just jams on the brakes, lets everybody go around the outside. And then JP Bergeron in the 18, you can see he crosses him over, and then Reagan Parent decides, nah, and just chops off the nose going into 1. Really odd situation there. And then Reagan Parent really couldn't save it. Chad Miller was trying to avoid, ends up getting in the back of the 17 car, and Reagan Parent goes around.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Where Reagan is, he was trying to defend the inside, and I understand he's saying, hey, if you want to pass me, go to the outside, but there was a point down the front straightaway where JP is there. He is alongside of him. It's not by much, but man, that is a tough call there.
I'm confused. I mean, if we could talk to the drivers, it would be interesting to find out what Reagan's doing. Because he just stops down the back straightaway.
Yeah, definitely stacked everything up, and that's why we were 6-7 cars deep for the second spot, because they had really checked up the pace, but they were also not wanting to let anybody by them. So it was kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah, I think JP had pretty much got to the rear tire of the 17 car, and Reagan had shut the door on him.
Well, Cody Kelly is in the chat, and he was asking about where Mason Johnson is, and that gives us an opportunity to talk about the TP3D penalty report, which Mason Johnson, he got to 3 penalty points, and so he is going to have to sit out 1 race. So he will be back next week as we go to Irwindale. The LFOD Motorsports going to present the race at Irwindale next week, and Bill, you're going to be out on a cruise, so I'm going to be announcing with somebody else next week.
Don't tell people where I'm going to be, Jeff. People are going to get really upset with me. No, well, let's go back to the TP3D Designs penalty box. That is a cool sponsorship, and we maybe don't talk about it as often enough, but that's where you go if you're in trouble. That's the penalty box name. But check out TP3D Designs. You can find them on Facebook. So we really appreciate their support to, well, make the guys feel a little better maybe that aren't in a good place.
Danny asking about Scott Negus. He is currently running in the 18th spot. Now, Scott won the B main earlier, so he's working his way forward from deep in the field. So we go back to Green Flag Racing, the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone for Josh Kosick in control for the first time. And he is off and away, and Bladen Edwards going to slot right into second in front of JP Bergeron.
That battle's going to be right around that 4th position as there's a little bit of contact between Ricky Howell and Blake Thronberg, and we've already got a big wreck in the back, Jeff. I saw Lee Norton was around. They did not even get into turn number 1. Lee Norton doing a little bit of a rally race in there through the infield. I don't know why they wouldn't grade the infield of this racetrack. Maybe it's just a bad idea to go through.
Yeah, a little monster truck action there. Yeah. Looked like the 3 car got hit, and that just stacked up the whole inside line, and Lee Norton got the worst end of it as they kind of accordion together.
The 3 car. So David Hill? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
There?
David Hill got a shot from, it looked like Braxton DeWeese, and then Tony Quadros gets on the brakes. Lee Norton gets on the brakes, but it's just, it just, the whole inside line just stacks up.
You cannot see through those cars. So we're going to give you a really good shot here. This is going to be fun. We're going to look in through from the front end of Peter Fisher. You can see the steering wheel here. Here we go down into turn number 1. You're following Lee Norton, and this is what you can see. Let's do it right on the restart here. As you come off of turn number 4, and you tell me if you can avoid this wreck. I would say no. Everything just stops in front of you. So clearly a little bit of contact. A little bit of contact there that caused the 3 car to get a little bit sideways, and unfortunately for Peter Fisher, he was running in the top 15 earlier in this race, and it has gone from bad to worse for the 71 cars. He is back on pit road, fixing more damage to the front end of his car.
Well, it's still plenty of time. I mean, we're only 52 laps into this thing. We saw some drivers. I mean, well, last night, Alex McCollum was still about 20th place at lap 52. So still plenty of time to work your way forward. But it definitely can feel like the intensity is already picked up. And these guys are not wanting to give up any track position right now. I think the field is starting to realize that, you know, you got to have track position here. Just having good tires at the end isn't going to be enough to win this race.
Well, somebody in one of the interviews last night, and I won't say who it was, but it may or may not have been our winner, talked about a strategy that was a little bit different from everything that anybody's been doing. So I wonder if, Jeff, that's kind of changed some strategies here in the late model stock. At least at Langley. At least at Langley.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of these guys, I mean, they all have teammates, they all have friends, they have family that runs on Monday nights, and so they watch, they understand, they sit in the Discord and watch their friends and their family race, and they know what's up, and they know when the strategies change, and they got to see the race play out last night, and they got to adjust accordingly. And speaking of families that race, newcomer to the series, running 9th, that's Travis Roma, and he's got that Roma Bros Racing that you see on Chris Roma's machine.
I was gonna say, yeah. Is that a Chris Roma relation?
We getting ready to go back green flag racing. Single file restart for Josh Kosick, and he's going to be out on Bladen Edwards at the start finish line. So single file going to hopefully get us spread out a bit here.
We had some racing early, and then, you know, everybody got a little excited.
Yeah, but we are finally back green flag racing here in the Canadian Legend Cars West 125. Josh Kosick out front, Bladen Edwards, JP Bergeron, Ricky Howell, Blake Thronberg, your top 5. JJ Chansey runs 6. Jason Warren, Rick Rube, Travis Roma, Hunter Harriet, your top 10. And Harriet's going to go around Roma right there, so move Harriet up to 9th. Roma back to 10th. Elliot Carlson runs 11th with Todd Cousins, David Hill, Cody Bohm, and Braxton DeWeese, your top 15.
There's Todd Cousins in the 2 car. That's also a Roma Brothers Racing car, Jeff. So I don't think we've only seen Chris one time this season. And he's definitely supporting the series as Roma Brothers Racing, well represented right now in the top 15.
Well, Josh Kosick opening up the lead. It's about half a second over Bladen Edwards, and definitely it looks like Kosick is willing to use up a little more tire to build a gap, build up a lead. Bladen Edwards runs about a second ahead of JP Bergeron, who's now under attack from Ricky Howell in the 20 machine.
Josh Kosick had a night to forget last night, right, Jeff? And tonight going much better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Caution, big wreck in turn 1. David Hill involved.
Holy cow.
Looks like Braxton DeWeese involved.
Tony Quadros is involved. DeWeese is stopped on the racetrack. What happened? That's big.
Yeah, big incident. Braxton DeWeese was running about 15th on the racetrack, so this happened about middle of the field.
I think DeWeese was the initial...
Yeah, he got together with the 3, David Hill.
Well, that was really weird. We gotta go a little farther back than that. All right, here we go. David Hill up the racetrack in the 3. He's gonna get a little bit of contact there from Bohm.
It looked like Hill just never quite got up the racetrack. Braxton was there, and the 3 just tries to chop him on corner exit.
Certainly. then Quadros just nowhere to go. Chad Miller's involved. And I think Caleb Hill and David Hill are related, and unfortunately Caleb slams into that as well. Yeah, that was no good. Stinger Motorsports Chopper Cam. That's where we're going to go for this one. Let's see if we can get a really good look at it. Ooh, Braxton DeWeese, he does slip a little bit, Jeff. He was down on the apron. The car does wiggle, but I mean, that's tough. Chopper Cam gave us a different little view. You see the 8 wiggle.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but to me, it looks like the 3's coming down on corner exit.
Yeah.
And if you're the car on the outside, you definitely need to be moving up, not moving down.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like he's apexing all the way.
And that collected a lot of cars right there in the top 15. So that's going to move Scott Negus back up to 15. Chad Miller, who got turned around or got involved in the incident, he ended up having to stop on the racetrack to avoid it, and he fell all the way back in about 20th. He's now back up to 14th.
But his night, he doesn't have a whole lot of damage on the 46 car. A little bit of left front damage there on the splitter.
Yeah, I don't think he was really too involved. He just had to like stop on the racetrack to avoid an incident, and it ended up costing him a ton of spots. We're gonna get ready to go back double file racing once again. Josh Kosick, Bladen Edwards, as they head to the BSRM restart zone. Just had our 5th caution of the night. As pace car gonna head off the racetrack. Kosick will have control of this restart. Gossick is off and away. Bladen Edwards not able to clear down in front of JP Bergeron.
A little bit of contact through 1 and 2 between Bergeron and Bladen Edwards. Now a battle for second. Here comes JP Bergeron to the inside through 3 and 4. Not able to make the move. Is Bladen Edwards able to clear him off of 4?
So your top 5 are single file, but here comes Jason Warren trying to get around Ricky Howell in the 20. Machine Howell going to fight back on the outside. Going to try to get down, and he's going to get spun as Jason Warren gets together with the 20. They both go around. That's going to bring out a caution.
Oh, and the 24, Bryson Brinkley not able to avoid Jason Warren as he was sitting on the outside of the racetrack. Makes contact with the nose. We were watching that battle live as I'll try to figure out here if the 20 shut the door or the 45 gets in the left rear. Well, we did get in the left rear, so we got to figure out which one it was first. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it looked like the 20 tried to get down.
Door in my face. Yes, don't do that.
Yeah. Looked like the 45. Once the 45 realized, hey, I'm getting into him, he throttled up and he finished him off. Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? At that point, the 20 is, I mean, we're watching it from the Stinger Motorsports Chopper Cam again. Maybe the best sponsorship in the history of ITZR. Is we watch this a lot. But here it is again. It just turns down. The 20 just comes across the nose. And then here we go. We're going to watch the 24. It's a couple cars and can't miss.
Just really aggressive driving this early in the race. And, I mean, I get you're trying to hold on to the top 5. But Ricky Howell took himself out of a top 5 run right there and sends himself all the way to the back. So it's risk versus reward, and I just don't think the risk is there.
Well, it's pick your battles, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you can't pick your battles on the racetrack, but once you've lost, you've lost. So
yeah, very easy.
It's much worse turning yourself off of somebody's nose and ending up at the back of the field than it is losing a spot or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know, one of those things, you just got to use your head and understand the situation. And it's not like this car is, you can't just get back around somebody. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity to pass, and tire management going to be a thing. And going to the rear of the field and having to pass 20 cars is not going to help your tire situation. So I believe pace car light's going to go off, and we will go back double file once again. Josh Kosick going to take us to the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone with Bladen Edwards alongside JP Bergeron. Again, looking at the Adobe Mountain Speedway Hard Charger Award, JP Bergeron up from 20th spot to 3rd. Rick Rube started 23rd up to 7th. Cody Bohm started 25th. He is up to 10th. And here we go. Green flag racing coming back at you. We're just past halfway.
Flag is out. Josh Kosick going to shoot out to the lead. The battle continues between those two cars. Bladen Edwards, JP Bergeron, they're going to pick up the battle for second place once again, side by side down into 3 and 4. Bergeron having a little bit of a hard time. He's got a little bit of damage on the right front of that 18 car. He seems like he cannot keep the car that well on the bottom and keep it rolling. Is Bladen Edwards able to shoot by once again? And Bladen Edwards back up second.
Top 10 cars are single file, and then it is on behind them is the 2. That is Todd Cousins battling hard with Cody Bohm, and then behind them it's just double file all the way back through the field.
Yeah, great racing here through the middle of the field. Here comes Negus. Negus in the 39. He's going to try to make the move on Cody Bohm. He just got past him. We go yellow again.
Peter Fisher around in 1 and 2.
Peter Fisher has had one of those nights, Jeff.
Yeah, it's not been going well for Peter Fisher.
Figure out what happened to the 71 car as he is around again in that red number 71. Here we go.
Looked like he got together with Josh Cole on entry.
Allowance. I feel like that's, to me, the initial look looks like two cars just getting into each other.
Yeah, right on that entry to the corner. It looked like Josh came down. Maybe Pete was a little bit up the racetrack, and they just kind of meet in the middle. I don't think anybody did anything too outrageous there. It's just tight racing, and they just door slam each other. Got the 71 way out of shape. So under this caution, we did lose the 24, Bryson Brinkley. He's currently scored 27th, but Brad Carpenter still on the racetrack, 15 laps down. Looks like he'll probably pass the 24. So Brinkley going to probably wind up about 28th position tonight. But he is the first car out of this race. Still 28 machines still running. Should also mention our Clean Driver of the Race Award. SD Ireland Companies, or SD Ireland Cancer Research Fund presents that Clean Driver Award, and any drivers that finish with 0 incidents will be entered into a drawing for $20 at the end of the season. And the driver that finishes the highest with 0 incidents earns an additional entry at each one, and so they start to add up. But also, it just takes one, because I think last season Colby Bryant won that award, and he just had 1 injury and ended up picking up that $20. So more helps, but it only takes 1 to win, right?
Surprise!
Well, pace car going to head off the racetrack this time by as Josh Kosick takes us back to the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing restart zone. The 72, Bladen Edwards on the outside, JP Bergeron, and looks like Blake Thronberg back there in 4th as we go green, and Kosick took off a little early there, and that's going to catch Bladen off guard in the 18. Definitely just going to drive right by Bladen Edwards.
Yeah, that was a move by JP Bergeron. Just got lucky there.
Caution is already out.
Wow.
Braxton DeWeese around in turn 1.
We can't get through turn 1, Jeff.
Yeah, it's been pretty troublesome down in turn 1 right now.
Oh, it happened in front of DeWeese. DeWeese was a innocent bystander. Like Negus had something happen to him.
And Negus got a shot from the 46 of Chad Miller.
Yeah, looks like Miller gets into the back. Gets into the back of Negus. Negus, well, Chad Miller's already ejected himself from this race. Feeling kind of bad for that one. He's not had the night he was looking for after leading the early portion of this race. And he actually ended up wrecking Jeff. He got hit. Not sure what he was doing. It ended up, I guess, just slowing down, and he gets tagged by the 45 of Jason Warren as things start to shake out.
Yeah, it started from the pole tonight, led a bunch of laps, and then just got shuffled back into the field and found himself in a bad spot back there in the mix of the chaos, and he is now out of this race. Gonna probably finish about 27th.
On the left side of your screen, you will see the running order, the current running order. Find your favorite driver. Tell us who you're rooting for. We are closing in on the end of this race, just about 40 laps remaining.
We will go single file. They did not complete a lap that time, so it will be a single file restart this time, which we've seen spread things out. It's helped a lot, with not having that battle for the inside. So your running order right now: Josh Kosick, JP Bergeron, Bladen Edwards, JJ Chansey, Blake Thronberg. Hunter Harriet runs 6th with Rick Rube, Elliot Carlson, Travis Roma, Cody Boehm, and Todd Cousins, your top 10. Actually, make that Cody Boehm top 10. Todd Cousins runs 11th with AJ Rogers, Reagan Parent, Scott Negus, and Bryce Fauntleroy 15th. And Bill, remember, Cody Boehm started from the pit lane. He went a lap down, letting the leaders go when he came out of the pits, and he is now back to 10th. So just got to keep the car clean, and you're going to gain spots here. We head back to the BSRM restart zone for a single file restart for Josh Kosick.
Kosick on the loud pedal, not going to get a great jump. JP Bergeron did a great job pacing with him, with Kosick, to get that start. He'll only
Hunter Harriet got into Thronberg, and they both saved it, but Thronberg going to lose a spot and possibly lose one to Rick Rube here.
Thronberg up the racetrack into 22. Here comes Elliot Carlson in the 09. He'll look to grab that spot as well. They make a little contact through turns 1 and 2.
Thronberg is stuck on the outside now, and this late in the race, nobody's going to give an inch as the caution waves again. Incident in the back. Looks like Ricky Howell is involved. Ricky was running on the 20th position.
And Ricky's got issues as he has got the number 20 stuck on the pit wall. That is not good. The splitter's on the ground, and Ricky can't move. Trying to see if we can get a better look at Ricky here. There he is.
Ricky got into Caleb Hill, spun the one car around, and then ends up sliding himself into the infield, getting it high-sided.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting out of there. He's throwing a lot of dirt into the infield. That's interesting. We'll see if we can take a look and see what happened to Ricky. You can see there's some big tire tracks there in turns 3 and 4 as they made contact and spun. Caleb Hill got really sideways off of turn 2, and then, well, Ricky just, I guess I'll call a duck there. He just ran him over.
Yeah, it really just got into him. I think he was trying to cross him over, but just misjudged where the one was going to be, and kind of just ran in the back of him. And frustrating for the guys in the rear of the field, because these cautions keep coming from the rear of the field. It's guys running like 20th that keep causing the yellows, and it's keeping the guys in the front from being able to battle for the win.
Yeah, this one's dropped into a place.
Remember our penalty system, where we already have one driver sitting out because they reached 3 cautions, and it's looking like we're probably going to end up seeing more start to get suspensions and stuff. So you definitely don't want to cause these yellows, because they add up quickly and they get you kicked out of the races.
course, your penalty box brought to you by TP3D Designs. Look at that. You can find that penalty box on inthezoneracing.com. After how long, Jeff? What do we normally see? When do we see those penalties start to get posted on the website?
Typically, they're like Sunday, maybe Monday morning.
Prior to the
yeah.
events, yeah.
Gives
after
us
the review process has occurred.
Yeah, we like to take a couple days after the races to let things calm down, and then we start going through what needs to be gone through, because you know how it is. We kind of started that rule where like we didn't want to talk about the races in the first 24 hours after, just because everyone's so heated in the moment. That's been kind of a thing at ITZR for a bit, so we like to let it calm down after a race night. These guys, I know it's sim racing, but man, these guys really they put a lot of effort and a lot of time into this, and so when you get a race taken away from you, it is tough. As we head back to the BSRM restart zone with Josh Cossack, JP Bergeron now on the outside of Cossack. We are green flag racing once again. Bergeron going to get to the bottom, right in front of Bladen Edwards. Hunter Harriet got in the back of Edwards, got him a little sideways. That's JJ Chansey on the outside in the number 2 machine. Here comes Harriet, last week's winner, trying to make it 2 in a row.
Hunter Harriet moving his way into the top 5. Goes by JJ Chansey. Another battle on the racetrack. Blake Thronberg is in a battle again as he looks to the inside of Elliot Carlson in the 09. Here comes Travis Roma in the 38. Thronberg and Carlson going to be side by side through 3 and 4. Wow, look at Thronberg slide the car into turn 3.
Gets up right in front of Elliot Carlson. That opens up the door for the 83, or the 39, I mean. 38, sorry, Travis Roma. So Travis Roma going to try to take the spot away from the 22, and now the 22's up the racetrack. Here comes the 2. Scott Negus is spinning further back. He collects Jason Warren, Josh Cole. Caution's going to wave.
I really don't even want to pay attention to TP3D Designs penalty box this week. It is going to be large. There's a lot going on in this race. There was actually a 3-wide situation, Jeff. We're going to pick it up as they go down the back straightaway. Negus on the bottom. He just ends up on the apron, and honestly, Jeff, I think that's an all-by-myself moment.
Yeah, well, so here's where I'm looking at. Cody, they come off turn 2. They're 3 wide. Cody Bone is in the middle. And then as they get down into turn 3, Negus is going down the racetrack. Bone is on the yellow line. And the 39 has been there the entire time.
Yeah, Bone did not give him very much room. And I think he realized it, but he had already driven down.
Yeah, so Negus is hooking that thing as hard left as he can to keep it off the 78. And once it washes up, once he hits the 78, it instant spins because he's got so much left wheel into it. But that's a situation where I think the 78 kind of drove him down to the apron.
I concur. Yeah, 2 cars. Jason Warren. I think that's Josh Cole. They crash hard on the outside. Jason Warren going to eject. See Brad Carpenter there in the 31. That is... It's a lot of crashing, Jeff. A lot of crash race cars.
Yeah, and things have, since that halfway, we had a long green flag run to start this thing off, and then since we've hit about the halfway point, these guys are just fighting for every inch of the racetrack right now, and we're starting to see a lot of wrecks towards the back and the middle of the field, and again, it's frustrating for the guys up front because they just want to race it out, and we're within 25 laps to go now, and Josh Cossack, who ran out front, got away, used up a lot of tire, these cautions are just playing to his favor. He's got track position now, and he's not burning up tire here under these caution laps.
No, this is kind of what he wants to see. JP Bergeron has had, like you said, he's got the Adobe Mountain Speedway. He's got that locked up, the Hard Charger Award, but he's used tires to do so. So I don't know. I mean, we've seen it every single week. JP comes forward, right? We've talked to him. He doesn't qualify well, and then he goes shooting forward through the race, and here he is again in second. But like you said, Jeff, I think Cossack's probably sitting fairly pretty on tires. JP's probably used up a little bit more, and he's used up a little more of the nose of that race car too. It's got a little bit of damage.
Well, Bladen Edwards runs third, and he's been up there all night long, just been saving. We saw him early with some saving techniques, and Hunter Harriet runs fourth. He started 10th tonight. JJ Chansey's been in the top 5 most of the night as well, and saving tire back there in the 5th spot. Don't count out JJ Chansey's. We get back to the BSRM restart zone. Pace car heading off the racetrack. We are going green flag racing with less than 24 laps to go.
Once again, Josh Kosick going to shoot out to the lead. Battles for second place. Bladen Edwards. Oh, and now contact. Bladen Edwards around in front of the field. And this is not good as he is sliding. And Bladen, oh my goodness, Rick Rube is backwards. Lee Norton's backwards. Hunter Harriet caught in this one. Bladen Edwards, Elliot Carlson sliding through the field. Rick Rube is sliding through the infield. That wrecked a lot of cars.
That was a big chunk of our top 10 with Bladen Edwards, Rick Rube involved, the 09 Elliot Carlson. Just a bad deal right there as they were racing hard for the second spot. Bladen Edwards had just taken it from JP.
Figure out what happened here. And I think Bladen gets that car to the bottom, hits that yellow line, and JP just cut it a little too close as Bladen let it drift up a tiny bit off the bottom. Not even. He's got that left front on that white line, and JP just gets into the right rear as he was trying to get as close as he possibly could to the 72 car, makes contact, turns him around, and we will watch this as the 72 turns around and everybody piles in. Thronberg was the first. You see Hunter Harriet around. JJ Chansey was caught in it as well. Lee Norton spins out. That was big, big, big. We'll watch it coming off a turn 2 here. Let's see. It's heartbreak for all those drivers. Travis Roma's there. He's got some damage, I'm sure.
Hunter Harriet was involved as well. Basically everybody in the top 5 except for Kosick involved.
And Todd Cousins caught in it as well. That man, oh man.
Huge wreck. So let's reset the field now because Josh Kosick's still your leader. He was in front of that mess. Blake Thronberg, who somehow made it through. He got a lot of damage, but he is still running and kept the second spot. So Travis Roma, move him up to third. He started 15th tonight, and we're talking about that Adobe Mountain Speedway hard charger. It might have just opened up for Travis Roma. Reagan Parent back up to fourth after a penalty earlier. JJ Chansey runs fifth. AJ Rogers started 24th. He is now sixth. Bryce Fauntleroy started 16th. He is seventh. Tony Quadros started 26th tonight. He is up to 8th. Braxton DeWeese runs 9th. And Kieran Church into the top 10. Scott Negus 11th. David Hill 12th. Peter Fisher 13th. Todd Cousins 14th. Cody Bohm runs 15th. And we're going to go single file restart this time because they did not complete a lap.
Cody Bohm still has a clean race car, a fairly clean race car. Let's say another one. Tony Quadros has a pretty clean race car in the 12. But man, there's a lot of beat up race cars out there. Pretty sure Reagan Parent's car looks decent too. But
yeah, Reagan's in pretty good shape right now.
No, maybe not. I had a poor angle on it, Joe.
Well, pace car is off the racetrack in the BSRM restart zone. Josh Kosick takes us green flag racing. And looked like Thronberg just couldn't get up to speed. I don't know if the damage is going to cause issues for that car, but Kosick is checking out early.
Battle on the racetrack. Braxton DeWeese. Oh my gosh. Braxton DeWeese is his car's junk as he's trailing smoke. And Braxton might be out for blood right now as he is an unhappy character. We're going to watch it as he goes to the back of Tony Quadros and lets him know that he is unhappy. We saw that, almost saw that happen live. Let's see if we can get a replay on that one. They were side by side through turns 1 and 2. And then, well, looks like Quadros is trying to shut the door on Braxton DeWeese. They make some contact, beat and bang through turns 1 and 2. And then coming off of turn 2, they just kind of meet in the middle. I mean, that was a lot of beating and banging right there. I don't know if there's an angle that'll give us anything there that we can't already see. Oh, that's the wrong car. Hey. And it just, he gets caught in it. And there's Bohm. Bohm gets his first big damage of the race. Everybody gets it, Bohm. That's what you got to get it too. Let's see if we can go to the chopper cam on this one to see if we can see what really happens here. They just beat and bang through turns 1 and 2. Then Braxton just comes up the racetrack. And it's really tough to see who misses the corner there. That's just tight racing, and unfortunately, they're just not giving each other enough room. Nobody wants to do that right now. So we reset the field once again. This one has been, well, it rhymes with hit show. And not the baseball kind. I don't understand what has gone on with these guys this week, but Langley probably never going to be on the schedule again.
Yeah, it's Langley's been tough, hasn't it? It's man, I don't know.
This one, Josh Kossick's like, just keep doing it, guys. I got all night.
Yeah,
that car's clean, and he's been great and happy.
Yeah, Josh Kosick out front. I mean, the strategies worked for Josh Kosick. It was get out front, get track position, and he's the only clean car left in the race, it looks like. Maybe Reagan Parent, AJ Rogers, a decently clean car, but it's been brutal.
I honestly have no idea what to say. We don't even know who the fast cars are because there hasn't been enough racing to find out. When we say things like the cream rose to the top, well, you couldn't even tell tonight because they just haven't got enough green flag racing.
Well, we are in the BSRM restart zone for Josh Kosick because he's going to take the green with 10 laps to go in this one. And Kosick going to try to bring it home as he's got another huge jump on the 22. And here comes Reagan Parent. Jumps to the inside of Travis Roma through 1 and 2. Can't complete the pass, so Roma going to hold on to third.
Reagan Parent threw what was known as a dive bomb right there. But Roma did the right thing. He didn't chop his nose off. He just drove around the top side, got the momentum, and drove back around the 17. We haven't seen a whole lot of that last night, so kudos to
the two with Todd Cousins is spinning, and that is going to bring out another caution here. As the 2 and the 3, I think, got together, and yellow's going to wave.
Do we have a count on that, Jeff?
That is 13. That is caution number 13.
Lee Norton just hit Josh Cole and spun him out. We had 9 last night, so while this feels really bad, I guess it's not that much worse, but it is pretty bad.
So as the 2 car and the 3 car got together, they hit on the front straightaway, get down into turn 1. And it's hard to really judge what the heck happened here. Whether the 3 might have been down the racetrack a bit.
Well, they door each other coming off of 4. So you find Todd here. Todd putting a number on his car, much different than what we have in the server. They door off of 4. They go down the front straightaway and down into 1. Now, Todd's got a really tough entry because of the dooring from the 3. I think the 3 came off the wall here. Yeah, he comes off the wall. So let's check it out from the chopper cam. Here we go. Off the wall, the 3 bangs the door, the 2, and then really just doesn't give him a ton of room. He's got a really flat entry there. That's what's going to happen if you beat and bang down the front straightaway and then really don't give each other room in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, not much. To me, the 2 car, not much he could have done about that. He was already out of shape. He kept it to the yellow line, actually better than I thought originally. When I first looked at it, I was like, well, he got in a bad entry, but he did keep that car pinned to the yellow line. It was the 3 moving down that really initiated the contact twice there. And so David Hill.
Is it as crazy to you as it is to me, Jeff, that there wasn't more room given or just isn't more room being given by these drivers? As long as we've been sitting here pacing under yellow, these guys just refuse to give each other room. I'm not understanding it at this point.
And the bizarre part is it's in the back of the field. These are battles for 15th. I don't understand what the need is to race that hard for that further back in the field. Really baffles me, but
and there's only 19 cars on the lead lap, so if you were to lose every spot you possibly could battling for 15th, you'd lose 4 positions. So I just, like I said, I don't understand why guys are refusing to give each other room around this racetrack. It is, you said it, baffling is a good word.
Well, here we go. We are headed into a natural green-white checkered finish, just like last night. The laps worked out perfect. We were going to green-white checkered, but it won't count as a green-white checkered finish that we're going to allow these guys 3 of. So here we go. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. BSRM restart zone for hopefully the last time. Josh Kosick on the loud pedal to 22. Didn't get a great restart. Looks like he's going to get turned around because he missed a shift or something, and that is going to cause another big stack up.
And they're still crashing. Bryce Fauntleroy. Heartbreak for the 16 car. His car is blown up and done.
Fauntleroy collected on that one, and again, it looked like the 22 just missed a shift.
That's not a situation of giving anybody room. Watch it, Thornburg. Just doesn't go. Tony Quadros involved. Fauntleroy just absolutely destroys that car. Just nothing these guys can do in this situation. Let's watch Fauntleroy. He really hits the inside wall hard. He's having a great race at this point. And just Quadros can't see much going on. The cars are just stopping in front of you, and all you can see is the spoiler. And who knows what happened to Thornburg. Let's jump into Thornburg's car and see if we can figure out. Just by sound. You guys can listen. %, did not shift into the next gear.
This is I mean, that's just the story of the night, right? This has just been a bizarre race. I mean, I don't know.
But you could hear it, Jeff. When we just jumped into the cockpit there with Thornburg, and as he goes through the gears, you can hear it accelerate, and you get to the point where he would have normally shifted, and there's a slight pause where they were supposed to go into the next gear, and then just revs the motor again. So
yeah,
it didn't get there. It didn't get to the next gear, and there is absolutely nothing that the car behind you can do. You've seen it in real short track racing. I mean, Jeff, you and I have watched enough, over the years to know if the guy in front of you misses a shift, it's junk time. All the cars.
Oh yeah, I've seen that happen in big late model races. I know New Smyrna, the World Series, that's happened when I was there. This guy on the front row misses the shift. They're all antsy. They get it in the wrong gear, don't get it into gear, and then it's just the whole field stacks up, and it's just bad luck for everybody involved. But
and Thornburg, I mean, he was right on the outside of the front row, and just nothing he can really do. I mean, I don't know what he does. If it's an H pattern shifter, if he's using, and he's not running auto blip, which I think is not the way that you want to do it. So it just didn't go into gear. He stays in third, and well, kaboom. And now you've got a bunch of guys that are also wrecked. Unfortunately, Bryce Fauntleroy, that blew his motor, so he's done for the night.
Well, Bill, it is green-white checker time. One of 3 that we will have. Josh Kosick will have a single-fire restart because they did not complete a lap. They didn't even really get to the start-finish line that time, as the BSRM restart zone is coming up for Kosick, and Travis Roma is kind of falling behind here. He needs to get up on the 2 car if he wants any chance at this one, and Kosick is gone. I mean, Roma just never got there.
Well, that's what Kosick wants to see.
Reagan Parent in the 3rd spot. Reagan has survived all of this, had gone to the back at one point in this race, and now he's battling for the 2nd spot as Josh Kosick is out and away. Gonna see the white flag this time. And caution waves.
Wow, somehow we got a caution as we thought we were home free.
Kosick was at the line, and the flagman changed it. But Todd Cousins gets into the back of Peter Fisher. The 71 goes around.
Well, here we go. We'll check this replay. Oh, Peter had to check up. And, well, just miss. I guess that's a misjudge. I don't know. There was definitely a checkup here, but Peter has to check up again. Rick Rube just doesn't enter the corner very well. I think he's following the 12 of Quadros, and Rube just didn't get in the corner very well. Peter had to check up, and nothing the 2 could do, and then Cousins gets turned by Lee Norton. I don't know where Lee even came from. He was way back there. He's got to be able to see a car spinning there. Well, he's trying to miss it.
Well, I'm hoping Travis Roma might have learned something there on that restart, because he never even really put the pressure on Kosick. So hopefully Roma gets it a little bit better restart this time. makes this a race at the end here as Josh Kosick really felt no pressure, but again, that yellow waved right as he was at the line,
We're
and
gonna
just
watch that.
enough, yeah, just enough to keep Kosick from getting the win there. And we're gonna go back. Green flag racing for a second attempt at the green white checkered. Travis
Oh,
Roma's second. Was it that close?
yeah. It's oh my god.
If Kosick comes away not winning this race, he is going to be absolutely furious at the flagman there.
There it was. Let's see if we can slow it down a little more. Jeff,
Oh my gosh.
keep me updated as to when that we're gonna go back green here. But we're gonna watch this in slow motion replay. You didn't know we had that, did you, ITZR fans? But watch the flag, watch the yellow light. Oh, oh my
Wow.
goodness. That's
I mean,
6
he's
inches?
half an
6
inch
inches?
away. Yeah, unbelievable. You can see the white flag for a second. I mean, it
It's
came
out.
out.
It's out, but you're watching. He doesn't switch the flag as quickly as you would think it does. It doesn't just go from yellow or white to yellow as the yellow lights come on. But the yellow lights are where the caution came on, and you can see he was 6 inches from the start finish line to win this race. Well, at least get the white flag, where he would have to come around one more lap. But he had a nice lead on Travis Roma, and we'll have to see what happens. Another single file start. Here we go. Actually, we got another lap.
Yeah, we were gonna go another lap.
Car.
There was cars still trying to sort themselves out or coming out of the pit, so we'll go one more lap here.
But that was
the
brutal.
second attempt to the green white checkered, and again, Josh Kosick had this race won, and the race control flagman just kind of stole one from him there as we get the really quick caution. Kosick gonna have to do this again. Travis Roma second. Roma got to get up on the 2 car here if he wants any chance of trying to win this race. He's got to get on the bumper, Kosick, and make an attempt. But again, look how far he's lagging back just down the back straightaway.
Don't know what he's trying to do here. Maybe he's trying to time it and get a run. It's really not something we approve here in zone racing. So hopefully he closes it up. He's going to do that right now in the 38. Reagan Parent not liking what he's doing. He's going to jack the 38 up.
And we are green flag racing, green white checker, but Kosick again is gone. Travis Roma's strategy there just not working out, and Reagan Parent getting a little frustrated as JJ Chansey was getting to the back of Parent as well. And right now, Josh Kosick's going to come see the white flag, and he has opened it up about 5-6 car lengths.
Reagan Parent
on
the inside. Can't make the move. Josh Kosick sailing away.
Kosick going to come off a 3 and 4. He is all clear. Nobody around him. Going to take the checkered flag. Wins the Canadian Legend Cars West 125 at Langley. Travis Roma comes home second. Reagan Parent's going to come home third. JJ Chansey fourth. AJ Rogers with the top 5 tonight. JP Bergeron finishes 6th. Bladen Edwards 7th. Kieran Church 8th. Cody Bohm 9th. Rick Rube 10th.
Lee Norton will come home 11th. Tony Quadros 12th. Scott Negus 13th. Josh Cole 14th. Here to watch. It's going to be Josh Kosick do some burnouts on the front straightaway. Cole was 14th. David Hill 15th. Peter Fisher 16th. Elliot Carlson 17th. Todd Cousins 18th. Caleb Hill 19th. Ricky Howe rounds out your top 20. Blake Thornburg, Brad Carpenter, Bryce Fauntleroy, Braxton DeWeese, Hunter Harriet, Jason Warren, Chad Miller, and Bryson Brinkley round out the rest of the field. Josh Kosick going to put it in victory lane. We will try to get Josh Kosick to the booth so we can get an interview with tonight's winner. Definitely a tale of 2 evenings. Josh Kosick was around how many times? I think we counted it maybe 5 times last night. And tonight,
Yeah, he had
a different looking number 2 in victory lane.
Well, Josh Kosick going to join us, and Josh, we were just talking about it before we brought you in the booth here, that it was a tale of 2 different nights. Last night, nothing would go your way. You had a rough night. How do you turn around and bounce back and then come out and probably be the only clean car of the race?
Well, like you said, just last night, nothing went my way. I mean, I was running somewhere right around the top 10 and got in an incident. Just wasn't anybody's fault. Just checking up for people while we were in a line, and accordion got the worst of me. And then tonight, I knew clean air and track position was going to be key, so I just tried to hustle as hard as I could at the start of the race and get to the lead. And I mean, we got there and we stayed there, so it worked out.
So what did you learn, Josh? I mean, what did you bring from last night? Was it the clean air trick? Was that what you were thinking? Is just get out front and get away from the, well, I guess everything that happened behind. I mean, you probably didn't plan for as many cautions as we got, but I mean, is that what you learned? Just try to get out front and try to hold it from there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, qualified way better than I did last night. Last night I think we qualified 14th, and tonight we qualified second, which the invert still put us sixth. But I mean, I was just trying to get to the front and get out all the stuff in the back.
Well, you talked about it. You just went out and got out front, and then you started to put a gap on the field a bit there early on. Was there any concern at all about tires, or did you feel like the yellows were going to be coming? Like, what was the game plan there once you got out front?
I wasn't really concerned. I mean, the fall off was pretty good last night, but I mean, I spun out like, or got spun out like 3 different times, and the tires were pretty shot, and I still was able to kind of get up through the field a little bit. But I mean, once I got out front, I knew it was like I couldn't just go balls to the walls. But I mean, I was running near the end. I mean, I was running still around what we qualified at, or about a tenth off. So the cautions definitely helped a lot, but um, it was really just keeping the tires underneath it and not spinning them up off.
Now, with your strategy and running hard early, were the cautions something that you wouldn't necessarily like to see, but you felt like at that point when you kept seeing just caution after caution, were you thinking, hey, this is helping me because I'm covering them on the restarts?
Definitely. I mean, I didn't want to see the first couple after I got to the lead because I mean, I did like Jeff said, I built a pretty decent gap when right before I think Reagan got turned early. I had about a second, and I didn't want to see that one at all. But all the cautions definitely helped me because I had them pretty covered on the restarts. But all in all, I mean, couldn't ask for a better night, I guess. I mean, it was just like the last year when I got my first super win. I mean, cautions, breed cautions, and survived through it all and got the win in that one. Same thing as tonight.
Well, there was a moment there as we were under green coming to the first green white checkered. You were at the start finish line. The white flag is waving and the yellow light comes on as you are just at the line. Was there a moment where you thought, "Oh no, I think I might have just lost this race. Maybe something's going to happen to me on this green white checkered now"?
I mean, God makes things happen for a reason. I'm a big believer in that, and everything happens for a reason. So the yellow lights coming on about a foot before I got to the line, it happens for a reason. So I mean, same thing happened last year in the Super. So I was just hoping that I could hold on with it.
It's like a carbon copy. And Josh, you can go back and watch that on the broadcast. We watched it from the start finish. We saw it happen. You were about 6 inches short of that start finish line. But before we let you go, we always want to give you an opportunity to thank the guys that help you out and find speed here in late model stock. So who do you want to give a shout out to tonight? Who do you want to thank?
Everybody at Diamond Speed Labs, Spotakosh Communications, Carroll Speed Shop, JHD Wraps, and all the boys back in Discord that helped me out. Definitely a big shout out to Aaron Plemons and Jacob Hafner. We worked all three together a lot on the open setup side, and they helped me a lot.
All right, Josh. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations, a fantastic win. You survived, and then that's what it takes sometimes these short track races. Are you a little relieved we're going to a little bit bigger racetrack next week with Irwindale?
Uh, I don't know. I'm not too good at Irwindale, but uh, definitely going to be another exciting week in the series. Thank you, guys.
All
Great
right,
job,
Josh.
Josh.
Thanks. Yeah, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Well, now joining us, Travis Roma making his debut, and he come out with a podium finish, finished second tonight. But there was a moment there at the end of that race, and it just seemed like you weren't able to keep up with Josh on the restarts. You were lagging back just a little bit. If you had a chance to do it again, would you change up how you were going to start those races or those green white checkers?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a shot at him anyway. My car was so damaged that that option wasn't even there. In my mind, I thought I was a little closer than what I was. I knew I was hanging back, but I was trying to get rolling before he fired off so that I could try and keep with him. And if I was right on his rear bumper on the restarts, I wasn't going to be able to do that. He was going to fire off, and I'd be kind of just left hanging there. So anyway, probably not a good move. Reagan wasn't too happy, I don't think, at the end with it, but I watched him do it a couple times on the restarts prior to that. But yeah, anyway, I apologize to him for the shitty restarts, and but I'm just happy where we ended up. First night in the series, and somewhat stayed out of trouble. Got tied up against the wall a couple times. No fault of our own or whatever, but that's how the night went. And yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a good series.
So Travis, first night of the series, you said it. I mean, we may not be familiar with you, but we are familiar with the race team down the side of your race car. So clearly, you probably knew what you were getting into coming into this series, right? So what does it mean to you to first night out put the race car on the podium?
Oh, it's great. I'm happy that the RBR guys had a good finish tonight, and yeah, I mean, like this whole car, I've only run it once before, and it's a whole different animal, that's for sure. With the we run a series in the SLMs, and I've kind of got used to doing that over the past few years, but this is all different again. I don't know the saving game. But anyway, I mean, they're fun to drive and it's good racing. And I was just saying they hang on the outside, especially at a track like this, a lot better than SLMs do. So yeah, it was fun.
So we got to ask. Chris Romo has been around this series for a few seasons. He was in the championship for the Challenger Series last season. What is your relation to Chris? Brother, cousin? What is it?
Yeah, so to speak. We're first cousins, but we grew up together, and our dads, they raced together their whole lives. They were brothers, so it's cousins, brothers.
I see how it is. So the question is, where is Chris tonight? What happened? We usually have the 83 car. Now we got 38, and we want both in the race. We want to see a family war. How come he didn't make it tonight at Langley?
You're not going to see that, I don't think, unless by some miracle I find my way up to run on the Monday Night League. I don't think he's allowed to.
Oh, that's right, up top four. You're right. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's definitely a force to be reckoned with when he gets rolling, and no matter what he's running. So hopefully we'll get to run together again. If not, we won't be able to do it until our next off season in our local league, the RBR series. But I don't know. I don't know how it works here. I don't know how the bump up works.
Well, Chris clearly didn't tell you, Travis. So the middle of the season, we actually have a mid-season bump up for the guys that are doing well in the late model Challenger Series, then get invited to race on Monday night. So you keep this up, man, and you could be we could be having it, Jeff. We could have the family battle there on Monday night. So that's how that works, Travis. So you just keep doing well, and you could get a bump up early.
Yeah, that'd be fun. This might have been a fluke for sure, but we'll see how the season plays out.
All right. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out that might be watching the broadcast tonight?
Just like I say, just the RBR guys, and just shout out to Scott and Todd, who are teammates that ran tonight. I know Scott had a good run in the last chance qualifier and won it, and Todd finished second. And I think Scott's ran the last few. This is Todd's first night too, but I think he's been running pretty solid. So just those guys too.
All right.
Also Travis, to you guys for putting on a broadcast. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks Travis for stopping by and talking with us. Congratulations, top two, your first night out. That's a heck of a start.
All right, thank you very much.
And now joining us, our third place finisher, Reagan Parent. And Reagan, you had a moment, you went to the rear of the field, and then you somehow survived all of what was going on there in the middle of the field, through the back of the field. You found your way back up to third there late. What was it like, trying to get back through the field that late?
Yeah, it was pretty eventful. Just from watching the race yesterday, I knew that being on the bottom was big, so I was just trying to play the odds and evens game where try to be in an odd position spot, so I'll restart on the bottom just so we can pick off 1-2 cars every single time we'd get a yellow. And eventually I worked my way from 25th to 23rd to 17th to 15th to then we were in the top 10.
Well, Reagan, tell us about the last restart. Travis he was kind of aware that you might have been a little bit upset with him kind of lagging off of Josh just a little bit. What was going through your head? We saw you give him a little bit of a shot. What were you seeing there on that last restart?
Well, I just wanted him to be closer to Josh, so if they were to touch in the corner, I could capitalize on something. maybe trying to possibly win the race. But I knew if he gave Josh enough room, he's a good enough driver. He would just drive away with it. So I was hoping if I could get him going up on him a little bit more, maybe something would happen ahead of me.
Well, Reagan, we talked about it earlier before the race even started. I was talking to you in practice, and you were talking about the qualifying. That last night you missed qualifying a little bit. How hard is it to get up on the wheel? You might be cold right before qualifying as well. Get up on the wheel and just lay down a lap that you need to do to get into these races.
It's tough. I mean, everybody's so close. Like the whole field's going to be within a tenth of a second about. So if you're not within that 1/10, you're probably not going to be in the top 20 in advance. So it's really important. And last night on the Monday night, I just choked. I got loose off of turn 2, and that alone, I lost a half a tenth of a second, and that was just enough to get me not in.
Well, next week, Reagan, we head to Irwindale. How do you, Josh? I think it was Josh that said that he's not very good at that racetrack. But how do you feel about that half mile there at Irwindale? How do you feel like you're? How do you see your chances going into next week event? Maybe a little bit higher on the podium.
I don't think I'll be on the podium at all. I was talking to Jeff earlier. I'll be there on Monday, which I don't think I'll be on the podium. But
No.
Tuesday I can't race. I have another league that I'm in. I'm part of a Triple Crown event, so this is the second race of the Triple Crown, and the third race we're not racing. We have it off that weekend, so I'm gonna use next week as my drop week, and hopefully we can survive the rest of the season to be in the finals.
Well, Reagan, before we let you get out of here, is anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out that might be watching on the broadcast tonight?
Yeah, of course. RKM Setup Shop, Black Flag Podcast, Jackson Lewis. He always comes in, helps me, coaches me along the way. All you guys, ITZR, Canadian Legend Cars, Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes, everybody that sponsors you guys, and everybody that tunes in and watches.
All right, Reagan, thanks so much for talking to us. Congratulations. Great rally tonight. You're in that points battle, and that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to turn a rough night into a good one, and you did that tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Earlier in the race, too, I know I like to listen to you guys while I'm racing just so like I can hear what's going on with all the other wrecks and
Wow.
stuff and how you guys evaluate it. And there was a wreck early in the race where I had checked up down the back straightaway, and that was to get out of second and be in third just so I'd be on the bottom for a restart. And contact got made when I was trying to just protect the bottom in a sense. But that's what that was about.
So when you and Bladen were swapping that position back and forth, that was just you didn't want to be second.
Yeah, that was intentionally not trying to be second on the outside.
Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, we were quite confused by that situation, but
I thought you guys were playing leapfrog. It was interesting watching you guys both check up.
Yeah, it's just so tough. If you got caught on the outside here, you were going back at least a few spots.
All right, Reagan. Well, thanks so much for talking with us, and great job tonight. And hopefully we'll see you, I guess, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, or next Monday. You never know.
All right, man. All right, Bill. Well, that was a rough one tonight, and I mean, I guess the race officials are gonna have to throw down the hammer and hit these guys over the head a little bit throughout the week.
The TP3D Designs penalty box is getting a workout tonight, Jeff. But I learned a couple things tonight. One, we can mess with Reagan Parent while the race is going on and saying, "Oh, there's a caution," right? And then we watch Reagan stop or something like that on the racetrack and just go, "Just kidding, Reagan." We could have fun with that. And honestly, the other thing is I need to memorize my own rules. So I forgot that Chris Roma can't run in this race anymore. So Travis Roma not able to race with him, obviously, because Chris got the bump up to go to the Monday Night Series after having such a fantastic season last season. But man, you're right. This was a tough one tonight. Not what we want to see. We thought we would have a good. There was a spot there in the middle of the race. I thought, here we go. Well, I guess the beginning of the race, we had 18 green flag laps to start the race, and I thought, here we go. The Challenger Series is going to show up and do what they do, and then the gloves came off, and they just went after each other after that. So. Not what we want to see, Jeff. But like you said, the hammer is going to come down hard this week, and hopefully, we probably will see some drivers that aren't allowed to participate next week. That is unfortunate, but hopefully they'll all learn from it moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. As we head to Irwindale next week, to LFOD Motorsports, I believe it's 110 next week. Irwindale heading to the big track, the half mile, and I think that's going to improve the racing. I think this car is going to race so well at Irwindale. I'm excited for that. The 2-3 wide that we're going to see, and just how the multiple lanes work there, because the high side is dominant, but we've seen in the past with the bottom, it can roll, and guys will get all the way down to the grass on the apron down there and make the bottom work. And I think Irwindale is going to be a fantastic show for this car.
Yeah, I hope so. I would like to see us come back a little bit from Langley. I had some high expectations for Langley. I thought it might be fun with this race car. It was not as good as I had hoped. Of course, that's up to the drivers as well, but it's such a hard place to race with it. The top side really just cannot fight back here. And it's a little bit, you heard Travis talk about it. It's a little bit better than the super late model here, but still, the top side, you knew that if you got to the top, you were going backwards. And man, these guys are all super, super hard competitors. And when something like that happens, they just don't want to fall back. And you see what happens when those kind of things happen. They just try to, they chop each other's noses. They make contact. Them, please don't pass me. And you see what you saw tonight. But Irwindale, different beast, man. There's lines all over that racetrack. And like you said, this car should be pretty fun. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be here, Jeff. So I'll do my best to watch. I do have Wi-Fi. So we'll see if I can tune in and see what's going on the Monday and Tuesday night series.
Well, we are excited to get back to racing Thursday night. The Toxic Media Solutions 150 for the Sim Auto Racing Association Super Series, the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. That is going to be fun. That is back at Hickory. We've ran Hickory at ITZR. We know it's a tight little bull ring racetrack, but I mean, we're talking about some of the best open setup racers on the planet here. Are going to be going at it at Hickory, and I think we're going to see some good racing on Thursday night. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you're following us on Facebook. Make sure you're on our YouTube, on our Twitch. We kind of talked about it last night. I think if you really want the best quality stream, go watch the Twitch stream, right? That is the ultra HD stream. So
Yes.
check out that Twitch stream if you want to see some pretty fancy graphics.
Yeah, I watched the Facebook stream. We all do because we monitor the chat, right? So I watched the Twitch stream last night, and I could not believe how much better it was. So if you go watch us on Twitch, and in fact, you can go to inthezoneracing.com, and up at the top left, there's a watch live button. That is actually a link into the Twitch stream. It's right on our website. You can watch the Twitch stream on our website. How cool is that? So go to inthezoneracing.com. You can watch the Twitch stream from there. And there's chat in there too. And if we get enough people in there, we see the statistics. We can start monitoring that chat as well. So that's a lot better stream. It's right now, Jeff, it's Facebook's the worst, which is most of the people watch it. YouTube's a little bit better. And there's about half of the people that watch that. And then there's like one person that watches Twitch, which is by far the best stream.
Yeah, but thank you so much to everybody that's hung out, watched on all the platforms, and I know we're in the late model racing group on Facebook as well. So thank you to everybody that hangs out and watches these races. We do appreciate it. Thanks for sharing it, liking the stream. You guys help us out a ton and keeping this thing going and putting on these shows, and we do really, really appreciate it. And we will see you guys Thursday night for the Toxic Media Solutions 150 for the Sim Auto Racing Association. Good night, and we'll see you there.